Okay, it gives me great pleasure to do a review of the Wildhearts gig at the Glasgow Garage on Thursday, the 13th of March 2025. This was only £31 for a ticket. In this video, I will touch upon meeting the band yesterday at a Love Music store in Dundas Street in Glasgow, and then I'll talk about the venue, the capacity, the merchandise on offer, the crowd atmosphere, Ginger, and the set list. My name is Ricky, and welcome to my channel, Gig in 60 Seconds. Okay, so I'd seen from the Wildhearts Facebook page that we were going to make an in-store appearance at Love Music in Glasgow, so I was super excited for that. I thought I'd go along and get the album, get a signed copy, and hopefully meet the band. I only had an hour to try and get out there from my office on my lunch hour, and to my surprise when I got there was only about a dozen people in front of me, and I could see the band all behind the store, so I was like a wee excited teenager. I was buzzing for it. So when it was my turn to get to the front, I bought 2 copies of the album on CD, which were already pre-signed by the band, one for myself and one for Carol, who was coming to the gig with me. I had a quick chat with Ginger, or me just talking to him really, telling him how I was buzzing for the gig, that I hadn't seen them live since 2019 when they played the Kelvin Grove Bandstand, and they supported TerraVision and Gun, and how I'd first saw them in 1993 at the Barrowlands when I was actually there to see the Almighty, and the Wildhearts were the support, and that was the first time I heard them and kind of fell in love with their music and supported them ever since. So that was nice. I got a picture taken. I had to get it retaken because I'd accosted this wee guy in front who was there just to buy a record. He didn't even know who the band were, and he didn't take the photo properly, so it never came out. So I got one of the lady assistants that worked there, I think, and she kindly took the photograph. So I was pleased how that turned out. So I was absolutely buzzing going back to the office with my signed copy of the albums and having my photo taken with them. So yeah, that put me in a high for the rest of the day. So the gig itself was at the Glasgow Garage, and that's been opened since 1994. So it's quite ironic that I have actually seen the Wildhearts in 1994 at the Garage, and that was in March, so they must have been one of the very first bands to play the Garage. I do like it. It's a nice wee venue. It holds 700 people up in the main hall. I always find it really loud. I had my earplugs with me because I'm turning 50 next year, so I don't want to have tinnitus by that time. So I put them in. I don't put them all the way in. I just put them in a wee bit so I can still hear it. But I think it's needed for there. I don't know if it's just because you're quite close or the sound system, the setup, but I always find it loud in there. So I only turned up at the venue just after 8:30. I'd actually seen from the Facebook page all about the Wildhearts that somebody had posted the stage times, and I wasn't too fussed about seeing Dirtbox Disco and Jim Jones All Stars. I'd listened to them a bit beforehand and it wasn't really my cup of tea, so I just wanted to go along and see the Wildhearts. And I got in, we went up the stairs and checked out the merchandise, so there wasn't too much on offer, to be honest. And this is one thing, one gripe if you want to call it that. Throughout the years, I've never thought that the Wildhearts have like really good merchandise. I've always kind of been disappointed in it. The only Wildhearts t-shirt I've ever owned was when I first saw them, like back in 93, 94, and I went out and I bought the Earth versus the Wildhearts t-shirt. It had the album cover in the front, which isn't really nice. It's Ginger's face with like insects crawling on him, and the Earth versus the Wildhearts in the back. I think they could improve in that aspect. Like, personally, what I'd like to see is some of Ginger's Smiley Bones drawing artwork, or some of the stuff that he was selling off of the raffle website. Some of that looks really good, but I don't know if there's copyright issues from the actual underlying artist, but personally I think something like that would be good. In saying that, you'll notice that I'm sporting the t-shirt. It was the only one that was actually on offer with the gig dates on the back. Okay, so here's the t-shirt, full distance. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know if it's meant to be ginger and drag or something, or if it's just like a wee devil. Like I'm not quite sure. It is a bit weird. And then it's the dates on the back with an inverted cross. So I'm quite happy with it. It's grown on me. I wasn't sure at first, but it's grown on me. 30 quid. So that's not too bad. If you've watched some of my reviews, you'll see we're going down in prices here. We had 40 quid at the Hydro, and then 35 at the Barras last week for Airborne, and 30 this week. So hopefully it'll be 25 next week, seeing the darkness and seeing you and me at 6. But on a serious note, there was plenty of CDs in offer from the Wildhearts albums and from Ginger's stuff, and there was signed copies of the album to pick up as well. You got a free signed poster as well with anything that you bought. Okay, so inside the venue, when we got upstairs, you could see that it was absolutely packed. Obviously, a lot of people had probably been in for the support acts, and it was like walking into Land of the Giants again. I don't know, every gig I seem to go to, like people seem to be getting taller, or maybe I'm shrinking, I don't know, but it was busy. But anyway, we managed to wangle ourselves kind of down to the right hand side, and we were about 3 or 4 yards from the front, and then somebody moved and we got right in at the right hand side. So I managed to, I'm not going to lie, I filmed quite a lot of this gig. I filmed about 50 minutes. In fact, it was 10 songs out of 15. Right, and I know some people might like frown upon that, like you're there for the gig, right? But two things: the Wildhearts are the band that I have seen the most out of any. I've seen them like about 23 times. I don't have any footage to show from it, so I was keen to film some. Plus the fact I couldn't really sing along anyway because my voice is so hoarse because I've been nursing this cough. Another thing as well, you'll know if you've seen some of my videos, I was away over at the side, so I wasn't obstructing any views. I know there's nothing worse. You're trying to enjoy the gig and there's like hands and phones up in front of you, so I wasn't in anybody's way, so that's my justification for it. And I played back the footage this morning and I'm quite pleased with how the sound turned out and my ability to hold the camera still, because as I said, I'd had quite a bit to drink, but I think I've managed to keep the camera quite steady. So by the time this review video goes out, the footage will be up, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. Okay, so they played 4 songs off the new album. Those were Eventually, Failure is the Mother of All Success, I'll Be Your Monster, and Troubadour Moon, which I was super excited. I think Troubadour Moon is standing out to me as my favourite off of the new album. I just think it's so catchy. I had seen a few negative comments on it, but personally, I think it's really great, and then it builds to a good close on it. It gets a bit faster with the guitar build up in it. I love that. I mean, I like Scared of Glass as well. That's probably my 2 favourite tracks from the album, but I looked at the set list beforehand and I knew that they weren't going to probably play them, so the set list hasn't changed much in the first few dates of the tour. I think they'd substituted in Eventually in place of Maintain Radio Silence, and I liked it. I filmed a wee like 30-second short of that, so I'll probably put that up and you can hear a bit of that. So an observation from the crowd was that I think there was a lot of mainly older fans there. People probably ages with myself, I'll be 50 next year, so there was like a few people my age and older, and I didn't really see too many sort of young fans there, but they were in good voice. They were singing along to a lot of the words. There wasn't any crowd surfing. It wasn't like Airborne last week, so there was no crowd surfing at the gig, or not that I saw throughout it anyway. So I didn't get angry this week with people barging into me, but yeah, the crowd were singing along when prompted to some of the songs. There was a lot of hands in the air singing along. I thought the crowd was good throughout, as they generally are in Glasgow. Okay, I'll touch on Ginger. I thought Ginger was in good form throughout. I thought he seemed really happy as a person. I was a bit worried over the last few months, like when I've seen him auctioning off all his guitars and the artwork, like what is he raising this money for? Is he get, you know, a drinking drug problem again? Is he trying to raise money from that? Is he in financial problems? So I was a bit worried. So I was pleased that they had the new album coming out, give him something to focus on, and they've got these tours. So I thought he was good. There's obviously, I think, similarities between Geordies and Glaswegian people. We both kind of share the same sense of humour, that kind of quite sarcastic tone. And I filmed some of it, I left some of that banter in. You'll get a sense of it from him. And he seemed generally really pleased to be playing in Glasgow. He did say that hopefully the next time that they're going to be playing the Barrowlands, which would be good. I'm not quite sure what the people in the garage thought of that as he said that.
I want you to all tell a friend about tonight. The next time we come to Glasgow, we'll be at Barrowlands.
Also, I want to know, well, what went on in Norwich like 2 days previous? He was slagging off Norwich, saying, lovely place, but I don't want to play there again. So, Norwich people, what did you do?
I want to just thank you for not being Norwich. Lovely place, don't get me wrong, lovely place, but fucking hell, I don't want to ever play there again. We played there the other day, and all the way through I was just going, Glasgow in 2 days, Glasgow in 2 days. Seriously man, Norwich.
Yeah, it was nice to see him happy. None of the other band members spoke in between any of the songs, it was just Ginger, but I was fine with that. Now, I know there's people been commenting in the pages, and you get this, it's not the Wildhearts, it's only one founding member, and, CJ's not there, this and that, right? To me, I'm okay with that. I think Ginger is the main man, he is the songwriter. Totally underrated. I mean, I think some of the songs that they have are fantastic. I've done a video saying, like, most underrated band in the UK for the 30 plus years. I stand by that. Some of the songs are just like so catchy, so sing along, and I do think that they're underappreciated. But like I say, to me, he's the main man. Now, I'm speaking honestly here as somebody that is not a musician, right? I can play, does this count? I can play Guitar Hero with 4 keys. When it goes to 5, that is me. I can't do it. So I would need to play bass. But no, seriously, kudos to anyone that can play a musical instrument. I just can't. So see when they change a drummer or change a guitarist, I can't notice too much of a difference. But if you took Ginger out and put another singer in there, I would notice the difference. So for me, like, that is the Wildhearts. That is who I saw last night, is the Wildhearts. You'll get purists out there that will disagree with that. That's fine. You have your own opinion. But I was happy to go along and see them, and I'll continue to see them so long as he's a singer. So that's my thoughts on that. Share what you think in the comments. So a wee word on Carol Hodges, who was there in the background next to the drummer. She was on keyboards, and I think meant to be doing backup vocals. I'd seen in one of the Facebook pages, like, should she be out front with the band? Well, here's my view on it. So I think she had actually expressed herself that she didn't want to be out front because she's not used to that. Maybe she's shy in front of like a crowd. You see, last night, I'll be honest, I couldn't hear her. When I've listened back to the songs that I've recorded, like, I cannot hear her on that. I don't know if they dropped her in Govan and let her watch the Rangers Fenerbahce at Ibrox, because for me she was posted missing. Like, I could not hear her. I can see her in some of the videos, like in the background, but I couldn't hear her from it. Whether it was just the sound set up or if I'm just tone deaf, like, let me know. I think I can hear her like a tiny bit, maybe, in Troubadour Moon singing along, but that's my thoughts on that. As I say, I don't have anything against it, but yeah, I don't know, I couldn't hear much input from her. Okay, so to the set list itself, I was happy with it in the main. As I say, I had checked it out beforehand. Pleased that they heard 4 new songs. I only really filmed Troubadour Moon, which I was excited about, and a small snippet of Eventually. So I wanted to hear the new songs. As I say, I didn't film everything, although I recorded 10 out of 15 tracks, but I'm not making apologies for that. I thought it was really good. I put a lot of the catchy numbers in there, some real favourites of mine, like Mazel Tov Cocktail to sing along to, and Sleep Away, and you started the night off with Sucker Punch, and then towards the end we had Everlone, and I think a standout track for me for the night was Diagnosis. I think the crowd was really into that, and Ginger seemed really happy playing that song. I think it probably came off best out of all the songs that they performed. And they closed with My Baby Is a Head Fuck. My personal preference would maybe have been to have dropped Inglorious and Chutzpah. Like, I would rather have seen, I made a video up about the Wildhearts, and three of my favourite tracks are Sick of Drugs, TV Tan and Weekend, and I also like 29 Times the Pain. So I would maybe have liked Weekend and 29 Times the Pain in there. For me, that would have just made that set list like complete. I love the sing along aspect to Weekend, but you know, you can't have everything. But I really enjoyed this gig, like a 10 out of 10 for me from it. Like, brilliant, can't wait to go and see them again, and totally buzzing. Getting to meet the band throughout the day just set the night up for me, and then thought they performed really well. And yeah, I'd have loved to have heard more from them. Like, the hour and 25 minutes flew in for me. So if you were there, let me know your thoughts in the comments of how they sounded. If you've already seen them, or if you're going to see them, what you're excited to hear of the new album. And thanks for watching. Until the next time, have a good day.